Hello, good morning, all of you children. Welcome to our internet classes. Today we are going to discuss about the first lesson of geography. Topic is India, size and location. Since third class and fourth class, you are knowing about the shape of India. India has a definite shape. It is having the shape of a rhombus. Rhombus, you know, children? Rhombus means it is the joining of two triangles. That is, in the northern side, a triangular shape, and in the southern side also a triangle shape. Means it is joining of two triangles making a square or rhombus. So it's when you come to the size of India. In terms of size, India occupies 7th place among the world countries. You know that there are very big countries like Russia, USA, China. In that way, if you calculate, India's size is it occupies 7th place. And when you come to area, that is India's area is 3.28 million square kilometers. It is approximately 2% of the total area of the earth. Total land area of the earth, out of it, India occupies 2% of the land. Means it is very meager size compared to all the countries, all the continents. India's size is 2% only. But it is a second populous country, you know well. Here, you have to know about the location of India in the world, that is on the globe or on the map. To which place it is located on the globe, you have to learn. You know that the world, the globe has two kinds of lines of latitude and lines of longitude. You know that there are 180 latitudes, 90 in the northern hemisphere and 90 in the southern hemisphere. In between these two 90s, there is one equator which divides the earth into two equal halves. In which half India lies, if you question like that, we can say India completely lies in the northern hemisphere. Why? Because it's north and south, southern and northernmost latitudes are lying in only in the northern hemisphere. For example, you take the southern tip of India. It touches 8 degrees north, 8 degrees 4 minutes north, 8 degrees 4 minutes north. It is under, it is written, you see. And also another latitude, that is 37 degrees 6 minutes north. In between these two latitudes, whole India is lying. Both latitudes are in the northern hemisphere only. So we can say completely India is located in the northern part of the globe. And another thing, okay, you learned it is in the northern, completely in the northern hemisphere. What about whether it is located in the eastern hemisphere or western hemisphere? You see that the westernmost longitude, that is 68 degrees 7 minutes, and also easternmost longitude is 97 degrees 25 minutes. This is also east longitude. This is also eastern longitude. Means it is completely lying in the eastern hemisphere. India is completely lying in the eastern part of the globe, and also it is completely lying in the northern part of the globe. So we can say totally India is lying in the northeastern part of the globe. India is lying in the northeastern part of the globe. Okay, children. Now you have to see how many latitudes are passing through India, and also how many longitudes are passing through India. Both the number of latitudes and longitudes passing through India is equal. How we can calculate and how can we know that? For example, you take what is the southernmost latitude of India, that is 8 degrees 4 minutes. In the same way, how many, that is what is the measure of northernmost latitude of India, that is 37 degrees 6 minutes north. So if we subtract the southernmost measure of the southernmost latitude from the measure of northernmost latitude, you can get the number of latitudes which are passing through India. You can get. See here I did this is northernmost latitude is 37 degrees 6 minutes. Likewise, the southernmost latitude, that is 8 degrees 4 minutes. I have subtracted, exactly you got 29 degrees 2 minutes. It means roughly 29 latitudes are passing through India's mainland. In the same way, how many longitudes are passing through India, if you want to know, simply you subtract this 68 degrees 7 minutes from 97 degrees 25 minutes. So if you put 97 degrees 25 minutes and under it you put 68 degrees 07 minutes, subtract. When you subtract it, you will get 8 here, here 1, 17 minus 8 9, and 8 minus 6 2. See, this is 29 degrees 2 minutes. Here also you are getting 29 minutes 29 degrees 18 minutes. So its latitudinal and longitudinal extents are same. It means from north to south how many latitudes are passing through, and also east and west how many longitudes are passing through are the same. So we can say it is somewhat in the shape of a square. India's shape in the shape is in the shape of a square. So this is the location of India. And also you have to find the area, that is 3.28 million square kilometers. It occupies nearly 2.4% of the area of the total globe. Ante when how much area of land is present on the globe, out of it 2.4% India's occupation. Now come to the size. Its size compared to other countries, it is the 7th largest country. And now see the boundaries. Boundaries, see, land boundary starts from to India, from here to, it comes like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. This is all considered as a land boundary. This land boundary's length is that is 15,200 kilometers. Land boundary. Land boundary means India shares boundary with Pakistan here, Afghanistan here, next China here, that is Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh. These are the countries which are lying in the north, means this Pakistan is lying in the western side, northwestern side, and Afghanistan also is lying in the northwestern part of means boundary, and China lies in the completely northern part of northern boundary. Nepal, Bhutan also same, and here Myanmar is sharing boundary in the east. Myanmar and Bangladesh, both the countries are sharing boundary with India in the east. So this is all the land boundary. What is the length of this land boundary? That is 15,200 kilometers. Very lengthy. So it has land connection with world countries. If you travel here to east, you can go to China, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, next Mongolia. Such countries you can reach. From here to this way, if you go land way, you can go to many of the European countries and also West Asian countries like Iran, Iraq, next through the Strait of Gibraltar, you can enter into Europe also. So this is the important location of India in the land route from the east to the west, or from the west to the east. In the ancient times, the merchants, you know that Silk Route passing through India's top. This is Silk Route. See, from China, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, all the people, merchants went to the European countries or Western countries through this Silk Route. So, while we consider this route, India is in an important position. India is in the important, while we travel through land from one country, from eastern countries to western countries, India, they must touch India, northern tip of India. Through Himalayas, there are mountain passes like Khyber, Bolan passes, Naktula passes. Through these passes, since ancient times, the businessmen or merchants went from eastern part of the globe to the western part, and also western part of the globe to eastern. In this way, India's location is at an important place. Next, sea boundary. Sea boundary lies in the south of India. It starts from Gujarat, Kutch of Gujarat. From here to this one, here, up to here. Again from here to here, if you go like this, up to here, India has a sea boundary. See, what is the peninsular India, shape of the peninsular India? It is protruding into the Indian Ocean. It is dividing the Indian Ocean into two channels. One is, this is Bay of Bengal, and another one is the Arabian Sea. In this way, the peninsular India is dividing the Indian Ocean into two channels like Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. So, whoever wants to go from west to east or from east to west, that is from Pacific Ocean to Atlantic Ocean, or from Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean, they have to cross through this Indian Ocean. They have to cross through the Indian Ocean. They have to come, they have to touch the southern tip of India. There they used to take some time of rest and also travel to east. In the same way, eastern country people happen to come to Indian Ocean, and there in India they have to stay for some time, again go to the western countries. This way, the southern peninsular India is also occupies an strategic, means a place of strategic importance. It is very much useful for India to participate in the world trade. That's why, so you know that no country has this much of lengthy sea coast. Only India. India is very lucky to have this much of a long sea coast. So that is the importance of India. That's why India is, since the ancient times, the Indians were very good traders in the world. Now come to the standard meridian of India. Children, you have learnt in the 6th standard about how to calculate standard meridian of India. First of all, what is the importance of a standard meridian for a country? You know that every country's standard time is fixed on the basis of the standard meridian of that country. Likewise, India also has one Indian Standard Time, IST. This IST is fixed according to the middlemost meridian which is passing through middle of India. Middle means it is equidistant from easternmost part of India and also from westernmost part of India. That is called as a standard meridian of India. Already we have learned how to calculate the measure of standard meridian of India in the 6th standard. How it is? First you should add the measure of easternmost longitude and the measure of westernmost longitude. That is nearly coming 165 degrees, and we can make it half. That comes as 82 point. This is 82 degrees 30 minutes longitude. This is 82 degrees 30 minutes longitude. This longitude is taken as the standard meridian of India because it is passing through middle of India. Whenever the sun shines here vertically, the time is 12 noon here as well as all the places of India. The time is 12 noon. Whenever the time is 12 noon on this longitude, that can be considered, that should be considered as the 12 noon for all the parts of India. But actually the time here it will be not 12 noon. It will be only 11 o'clock. Whereas the time here in the easternmost tip, that is Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, it is only the 1 p.m. So there is a 2 hours of difference between the easternmost part of India and westernmost part of India. That's why the line which is passing through the middle of India, that is equidistant from the west and also from the east. So this line is taken as a standard meridian of India, and the Indian standard time is fixed accordingly with the help of standard meridian, that is 82 degrees 30 minutes. Now come to the importance of India's position on the globe is of a strategic importance. What is the strategic importance? I told the land route which was used by the world traders, Chinese, Japanese, Malaysians, Mongolians. Likewise, the land routes used by the Europeans, all should pass through India only, because India is lying in the middle, in between the eastern countries and the western countries. That's why when the people of eastern countries want to move to west, they have to move through India only. And also the merchants who want from wants go from west to east also, they have to touch India and should go. That is the strategic importance of land route of India. Whereas what is the strategic? This is sea route. This Indian Ocean links the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. Those who want to go from west to east, they should go through the Indian Ocean, in which India is protruding into Indian Ocean. They have to touch the southern tip of India, then only should go. So, by seeing both the ways, north or south, India's location is is having a strategic importance. So, the Indians were very good at world trade. Since ancient times, we are able to export our cotton, spices, pearls, all such costly things we are able to export to Western countries. And also we could import the silk from the Eastern countries. So Indians, India is at an important place on the globe. Now come to know about the neighboring countries of India. You know that in the lower standard, maybe in 5th standard, you might have learned about the neighboring countries of India. Once again, you have to recall. See here, take the western part of India. See, this is the border of Pakistan up to Punjab. See this here there is a Pakistan. On the western side of India, there is a Pakistan, which shares border with India. And in again another country, this is Afghanistan. This is also lying in the western side of western boundary of India. And in the north, there is a very big country called China, Nepal, Bhutan. These three countries are the bordering countries of India in the north. Likewise, in the east, there is one more country, that is Myanmar. Its old name is Burma. Myanmar, and also Bangladesh. These two countries are forming the eastern boundary of India. And while you come to south, here it is Sri Lanka, a country which is lying in the Indian Ocean, very near to India. This Sri Lanka is separated from India by Pak Strait. What is strait? Strait is a narrow arm of sea. See, this is sea, Indian Ocean. This Indian Ocean, narrow neck of water is dividing India and Sri Lanka here. This is called as Pak Strait. And one more country, that is Maldives. Actually, they are very down. These are Maldives. Very small island. It is also, those islands group also a country, that is Maldives. So students, today we have discussed about the size and location of India. I think you all understood. If any doubts you get, you can ask me through WhatsApp. I will clear your doubts. I think since lower classes like 3rd and 4th classes, you are learning about the size, shape, location, somewhat you have an idea. But today we can know about measures, that is a longitudinal measure, latitudinal measure, and in between which latitudes and in between which longitudes India lies, and which part of the globe the India lies. Everything you have learned. Once you have to read the textbook, you can understand very easily. Okay, children, today we will conclude with this topic today, and next class we will meet again. Thank you, children. Thank you.